Hey everyone, Gamer here to explore the world in my underwear and forget that common sense exists. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, allowing us to explore islands in the sky, the depths below Hyrule, and torture Koroks to our heart's content. Just like the first game, we have to complete quests and shrines to prepare ourselves to fight the ultimate evil by collecting a lot of materials, meals, weapons, and clothes, which Link safely stores in his Mary Poppins pouch. But we got bad news. Link lost his magical pouch, and without a way to find them, we're stuck with only what we have in our hands. Can you beat Tears of the Kingdom's Great Sky Island without pausing? Now, for those of you who have been on YouTube for the past few years, might know that a pauseless run of Breath of the Wild has been done before, and the concept intrigued me so much that I had to find out if it could be done in Tears of the Kingdom. If you want to see this run done in Breath of the Wild, I highly recommend checking out GameChamp 3000's videos where she beat the entire game on Master Mode without pausing, while also doing the max number of shrines possible without pausing. And now, here's one for Tears of the Kingdom. Or at least the starting area of the game. The only reason I'm showing the starting area is because this game is still new and it's an extremely long game. 3 times the size and length of Breath of the Wild. So I'm at a debate of finishing the entire game pauseless. So this video is just going to cover the start up to the point that we unlock the first Skyview Tower. Anything else after that will be spoiler free. Now, to explain the rules, pausing requires more than just taking a break. Pausing is one of Zelda's biggest mechanics, allowing the player to check their map and change their inventory. The basic rule is that we can't use the minus button to bring up the map, the plus button to bring up the inventory, left, right, and up on the D-pad to quick equip any gear or fuse materials to our bows or throw items. And while pressing the L button to use our abilities is legal, holding the L button counts as pausing, so that is banned as well. If for whatever reason I accidentally pause, I have to close down the game via the home menu button, which is legal to use as it doesn't affect the game's mechanics directly. While we are unable to manually save, thankfully the game does autosave, and there are scenarios that we can use to force the game to save, such as opening a chest, collecting a Korok seed, entering or walking out of a shrine, walking through certain thresholds in the world, or passing time in a bed or by a campfire. And honestly, I think the rest of the run can be better explained as I go through the starting area, so let's get this started. We start with Link and Zelda exploring a scary cave. I try to tell Zelda that she can just whack the keys with her torch, but sadly, she has to rely on her knight to do the job for her. Seriously, you held Calamity Ganon in an egg sack for 100 years. I'm sure you can handle whacking 3 keys with your torch, princess. Anyway, we find a corpse reanimate back to life, and he causes Hyrule Castle to float above the chasm, having him fall to his death, and Zelda meets the light before she can get to the death part. Link gets a helping hand, a new hand, and we make our way to the Room of Awakening where we grab our first armor piece, which sadly we cannot use, so we're stuck in our underwear only. Now, there is a way to change armor by going to the Hiteno Dye Shop, but we won't do that in this video. We take a leap of faith, shatter Link's entire body upon hitting the water, obtain the Purapad, yeah, I think Sheikah Slate is a cooler name, and we reach the Temple of Time where we come across the furry community's new favorite hottie since Cass, Rauru. Upon talking to him, we unlock the shrines around the Great Sky Island, and while it is possible to do them in any order you want, Nintendo designed the Great Sky Island to be a lot more linear in comparison to the Great Plateau, in that they encourage you to complete the shrines counterclockwise. So, for the sake of not soft-locking ourselves in an inescapable location, we do the dev intended method by doing the shrines counterclockwise. The first shrine, we obtain and auto-equip the Ultra Hand ability and complete the shrine, no biggie. The second shrine, we obtain and auto-equip the Fuse ability, and here is where we need to strategize a little bit. I brought a wooden weapon with me, and the goal is to carry the Rusty Claymore, fused with the boulder, while carrying my wooden weapon so I can catch it on fire. Bear in mind, I'm practically working with one inventory slot here, as I filled the rest with tree branches I found lying around. The second puzzle in the shrine requires you to fuse the fire fruit to your arrows, but since fusing materials to your arrows counts as pausing, we use our wooden weapon, set it on fire, and try to throw it at the platform with the chest above, but then I realized my mistake. I came in with a two-handed weapon instead of a one-handed weapon, so the throw distance is inferior in comparison. Thankfully, by throwing our wooden weapon at the fire fruit, we can set it on fire and set an arrow on fires and still complete the puzzle in the dev intended method, with one less intentional pause. On our way to the third shrine, we come across a big roadblock. The Fuse Shrine, for whatever reason, is blocked by two bodies of water, which you are intended to use the Ultra Hand to get across, but since we auto-equipped Fuse, we cannot use Ultra Hand to build a raft. See what I mean when I say the Great Sky Island has a linear design? Well, seeing as our only way forward is through the southern stream, we need to think of a way across. The mountain is too high to climb up, and the Fuse ability is not going to help us. I was stuck here for 33 minutes straight, thinking of a way to get across. I tried pushing a single log in, but nothing happened. I tried using a fan guster, which I got from an enemy, and even fused a fan to my shield, but both pretty much did nothing. I tried pushing the boxes near Raru in, but I could not stand on the boxes, and since the flow of the water is slowly taking everything to the fenced off area, it's practically impossible to move anything once it hits the fence. I also tried to climb on the side of the mountain and use this unique exploit that allows you to gain an adrenaline rush when you run out of stamina. Apparently, instead of instantly drowning, Link gains a little bit of stamina when he hits the water. The plan was to use this exploit to climb across, but the wall was unclimbable with the way that the mountain was shaped, making this plan not feasible. So I did the next best thing and go around the mountain. At first this seemed like a solid strategy, but then you'll reach a point where you don't have anything to stand on before your stamina runs out. So I did the next best thing by climbing the side of the mountain. If you're lucky, you can find spots that you can stand on to restore your stamina. This will take a lot of trial and error, and you may have to rely on walking on slopes that Link will slide on to regain some stamina. But eventually, with a lot of luck and patience, you can make it to the top while skipping the mining cave as well, with our Korok friend to greet us at the top, and so, we give him our thanks. But we're not close to the shrine yet. We have to endure the freezing cold mountains. Without the ability to cook cold-resistant food, the best strategy we can go for is just to run to the next cave. And if you die on the way, there's a chance an autosave will come in clutch, allowing you to load the save with 3 full hearts to make further progress than any naked man dare to explore. We grab ourselves the Flame Emitter shield and climb up to the next shrine. We auto-equip the Ascend ability and complete the third shrine, no problem. But once we complete the shrine, we have to somehow get off the mountain before we freeze to death, and the only valid strategy is to keep going counterclockwise to the Temple of Time. By ascending up to this tree, we can open up the chest inside to gain a piece of cool and resistant armor. Useful to save us in a casual playthrough, but useless till we can reach the dye shop. But by opening this chest, we autosave, giving us some time to reach warmer territory as dying restores us back to 3 hearts. So what I had to do was make a mad dash to the left corner of the end, and jump down into freezing cold water. Make sure you land near the edge in the water to avoid taking fall damage, but close enough to the edge to make a fast escape before you freeze to death. Quickly find a bit of grass to light on fire with your Flame Emitter shield, and with a wooden weapon gained from the Ascent Shrine, we can set it on fire, allowing us to stay warm until we get back to warmer territory, and at worst, only half of our health should be gone. Once we reach the Temple of Time, we get a handshake from Zelda, auto-equip the Recall ability, but upon us reaching the second door inside the temple, we need 4 heart containers to open the door, which means finding a 4th shrine. Now, while it is possible to climb around the Temple of Time to the back, the light that you interact with will not appear until the second door inside is open, and we can't leave the Great Sky Island till we interact with this light, but we also can't interact with the second door till we have 4 heart containers, which means we have to complete the 4th shrine above where the Room of Awakening is, But no big deal, we just need to make our way back to it by walking back the way we can. Oh. Yeah, so at this point of the game, we unlock the ability to fast travel, and the game is designed for us to fast travel back to the Room of Awakening, which is way too high up for us to return back to. Honestly, I don't even know if it is possible to get back up there in a casual playthrough, since we not only have to get up there, but also not take fall damage if we launch ourselves up there. Using the Zonai device dispensers is a no-go since we can't hold materials in our hands, and we can't summon the Zonai devices without pausing. And even if we had access to these dispensers, I doubt fans and the limited battery in our energy well is enough to reach the Room of Awakening, even with pausing. Unless someone finds a way to get up to the 4th shrine without fast traveling, I really don't see this being possible. So sadly, our pauseless run of Tears of the Kingdom has to be turned into a minimalist run. So no, you cannot beat Tears of the Kingdom without pausing. If anyone can figure out a way to get to the 4th shrine without fast traveling or without pausing, I would love to see that happen. But for now, this will be a minimalist run, so with one pause, we fast travel to the Room of Awakening and reach the shrine easily with the recall ability, complete the shrine, and make it back to gain our 4th heart container. With the second door open, Rauru states that he's proud to give his arm to a nudist knight, and all we gotta do is make our way to the other side. Oh, come on! Yeah, so the dev intended method is to pause, switch to the ascend ability to get to the other side where the light is. There is no possible way to cross all 2 gaps pauseless. You can cross the second gap with a precise shield jump, I think, but the first one is problematic. One idea you all might be thinking of is to climb up the Temple of Time and make a jump for it, but it's not enough distance and we instantly died due to the lack of a paraglider. The recall ability is useless to help us get to the other side, so once again, we have to do another pause. Though we don't have to change to the Ascend ability, as everyone who has played this game knows, the most overused and useful ability is Ultra Hand. If we want a chance of completing as much of the main quest in as many shrines as possible, Ultra Hand is our way to go. We can easily make a bridge by grabbing the wooden planks near the first shrine and use it to cross the 2 gaps. We trigger the cutscene by giving Zelda the Decayed Master Sword, and we finally have the freedom to jump off, shatter Link's body once again, and explore the world to our heart's content. From here, completing the main quest up to getting the paraglider and activating the first Skyview Tower can all be done without pausing. So, would the rest of the game be possible to beat without pausing, even though we had to pause twice? Maybe. I say maybe because I still have yet to beat Ganondorf in my first playthrough. So in the end, a pauseless run of Tears of the Kingdom is impossible. The 2 moments we have to pause is to fast travel to the 4th shrine and get to the other side of the Temple of Time by switching to a different ability. If anyone can figure out a way to get rid of one or both of these pauses, I would love to hear what you have found. I'm uncertain if I want to do a full pauseless run on this game, but if this video does get popular enough, and Miss Game Champ ain't angry that I stole her idea from the first game, I might do a full pauseless run on this amazing game. If you want to see the stream of me doing this run, the link will be in the description down below. This was quite a fun challenge to try out, and a part of me does want to do the entire game, even if it may take months for it to be completed. Hello everyone, thank you for watching my partial challenge run of Zelda Wii U 2. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and ding the bell for more It's a Gamer content. Special thanks to my only channel member and my Patreon supporters including Darkwing Spartan, Supersonic 1014, and Deadshot. If you would like to see more from me, stay subscribed and tell me if you want me to continue this run or not. If you do, trust me, I don't think it's going to be that much torture for me because honestly, I kind of do want to continue this run. So, thank you all for watching and so long.